Yeah, here I am again, driving on this lousy freeway. Dodging the crazies that weave and cut through lanes trying to rough me up and get me mad. But no way. Can't let it bother me. Got a job to do. Oh, sure, I'm a regular Joe. Nothing flashy about me. Just trying to get to work so I can make some moolah, keep my life in order, buy a little gas, pay some bills, feed the mutt. A little left over for the good life. After wreaking havoc on my psyche, winding my way to work, wondering where all these goofballs are headed each morning. They can't be going to work. They have no brains. It's a rough life, but then again, you gotta get to the job. There's no other way. After arriving at the salt mine, oh, wait a minute, it's not a salt mine. A salt mine would be better. Let's just call it work. That's what it is. A lot of heartache, a lot of headache, a lot of everything that pulls at your gut all day long until it's over, then you begin it all over the next day. What a way to go. Well, I finally bring the car to a stop. I'm picking a path through the mounds of refuse, covering the powdered grime and acid grit the city seemed to exhale with its breathing process. Got to get to work. It's these days that seem to come sooner and sooner each year, blinding your vision, making your life miserable, gnawing away at your very being. But then again, what can you do? You gotta go to work. Okay, time to stop jawing and go in and take the medicine, the heat, the noise, the sheer frustration inundating every pore of my skin and body, but it's gotta be done. It's a job. It's certainly not an adventure. Someday I'm gonna gnaw my way upstairs and get promoted to supervisor. Otherwise, you stay in the crowd, squeeze out 100 or 2 a week for the few years nature lets your face stay unwrinkled, and hope for a break. Or you marry a rich dame. Before I hit the concrete, I think I'll nose around a bit. See if I can pick up some scoop, words, memories, some tips, rumors, advice, tidbits, just to help me get through this lousy day. Yeah, it's a job, but just think, I could be on a ranch in Montana, punching critters, eating beans, wearing the same clothes for a month, and wondering why I'm always alone, but that's not my style. Nah, I'd rather be here, working like a dog, smelling like a dog, putting in the time, the heat, the pain, the effort, just to make some jack. Just like all the other Janes and Joes who work here. Oh, sure, there's lots of people here, working like dogs, smelling like dogs, you get the picture. But then again, what can you do? You gotta eat, drink, and be merry, right? Looking in the office pogies, these are the people who really have it made, you know? Look at that nice furniture, air conditioners, plush jobs, coffee, paper clips, water, friendly atmosphere. What a great place. But then, it's not for me. Plain Joe like me would dry up and fade into the sunset in this setting. Nah, it's not my style, but to each his own. Supervisor here, he's got it made. Nice, soft job, punching that calculator. Looks like a file clerk in the city morgue. No headaches, no problems. Whoops, spoke too soon. Looks like he just got the new safety manual. Time to get some nitty-gritty gossip. The guys in the shop are always good for a few rumors. Uh-oh. I hate to see this happen because it just ain't right. Wild Bill's using a grinder without safety glasses. The guy knows better. I mean, he's a good Joe, but maybe a dame gave him a hard time last night. Wild Bill's not thinking right. Not thinking right can knock this palooka out of the ring. Uh-oh. You can imagine this. 2 jokers about to bite the dust on the same thing. Randolph over there is wearing a face shield, but he doesn't have any safety glasses on. Doesn't he know that face shields protect his face and safety glasses protect his eyes? Man, where did these guys go last night? They've been to the classes, those meetings that tear out your heart, begging you to work safely. And this is the payoff? What's going on here? Did those films and that boring instructor put these Joes to sleep when they started talking about safety glasses? Oh, it ain't a good feeling. A guy can lose a finger in a machine and the doc can patch you up. Maybe sew the finger back on, but losing an eye or two is bad news. Racking your brain on that freeway every day is tough enough, but if you're missing an eye or two, well, that can make it really rough. Not to mention throw off your dart game considerably. Yeah, I better get out of here before something goes wrong, and naturally I'd get blamed, so let's boogie on. It's getting close to showtime. I can always count on the crew in the production area for a good laugh or two. Maybe a cup of Java and find out the latest dirt. Wow. Fernando's walking through the area without watching where he's going. Yeah, I knew it. Slip and fall in a cut arm. Happened to Plimpkin the other day. Walking down the ramp outside, this guy's a loser anyway. But compounding the problem, he wasn't watching where he was going. Yep, you know the answer. Flop, flop, fizz, fizz. Same thing happened to Mary. Well, that's not his real name, but we call him Mary. No reason, just sounded like a good idea one day and the moniker stuck. Slip and slide. Seems to be a rash of these slips and falls. I guess it's just something that's going to happen. No matter what. You ain't going to catch me busting my buns on the bricks because I watch where I'm going. I'm moving up. Can't take chances, you know. One day I'm going to be on the top. Big time. The juice, the man, Mr. Big, you know. You can't hit the big time if you got a string of accidents polluting your personnel file. Boys in the maintenance shop, these guys are real pros. Great. Ship shape. No trouble here. They're the wrench wrappers that keep the company moving, going, running. These guys make billy goats shine. They're the guys and gals that could make a rusty anchor run like a well-oiled machine with chrome ball bearings. These folks are tops in my book. They're the pros who repair, replace, fix, modify. And they're safety nuts. Every time they need to work on a machine, they do something that's called lockout and tagout. No, not lock up. My brother's in the lockup. I know the difference. Lockout means they stop the machine, and if there's anything that could start accidentally, they lock out that part. Sounds good. Great. Wonderful. Easy. Something that has to be done, and they do it. Locking out a steam pipe, an electrical circuit, a spring mechanism. They do it because it's right. They also put tags on the locked out equipment. That lets all the Janes and Joes know that someone's working on this machine, so keep your mitts off of it. Pretty strong words, but then again, it's for safety. You know, safety, accident-free, health, no injuries. Away from the hospital, no stitches. You get the idea. I remember years ago working with a bunch of slobs. What a bunch of bozos. Oh, this place was dirty. They couldn't keep their workplace clean. There was accidents, injuries, bad news. Really sloppy housekeepers. Didn't take long to see where they were going. Right down the tube, so I got out. You can't think. You can't sleep at nights. You can't perform under these circumstances. So I flew the coop. Out. Gone. Bingo. History. If you can't keep your work area clean, you're out of touch. In most places, you'd be asked to take a hike. I hate the word housekeeping. But then again, what else are you going to call it? Looking outside rips at my guts to see this guy. A real idiot. Virgil's his name. Accident's his game. This guy's damage, destruction, I mean a real doozy. He's driving a forklift and he shouldn't even be near it. He's been fired from every job he's ever had and he looks like he's trying to do himself in this time. Oh well. Boss will catch on and then he'll be history. Virgil knows the rule about driving and operating equipment too. If you're not trained and authorized, don't operate the equipment. Fact, truth, that's the way it is. This guy couldn't operate a television set if he was carrying it. Couldn't find his rear end with both hands and 9 people guiding his elbows. You know the kind of guy I'm talking about. Oh, Virgil's a nice guy. Well, not really a nice guy. He's just stupid. He's kerosene in a gin glass, sand in your soup, the IRS. Hasn't seen the football since the kickoff. He's a chemical experiment that went bad. By the end of the day, he'll be gone, injured, or probably both. Water under the bridge, he's history. So let's run down and take a look at the real workers, the hardcore movers, shakers, people who do manual labor. Yeah, you can learn a lot from just watching these people. Smart, can-do attitudes, personality, hip, out of sight. Oh yeah, they're the people who lift things for their livelihood. Oh sure, we all lift things. Sometimes they're small things. Sometimes they're really big things, you know. Ugly things. Awkward. Heavy. Humongous. Kind of like my mother-in-law. But sometimes they still need to be lifted, and they're the pros who handle the job. Ain't an easy thing. Takes moxie, brains, training, effort. But most of all, it's work. Smart work. I remember sitting in this dark, dank room, my eyes wandering around the room, thinking of the humanity of the setting. People with sweat dripping off their brows. Wackos wondering where they were and what they're doing. Some not understanding the importance of a safety meeting. Mr. Big was in charge. Large, lumbering man of middle age. Yeah, he was the big guy. Trying his best to motivate, train, help, assist, develop. But it wasn't working just yet. He was talking about safe lifting and back injury prevention. No big deal to some, but it did spark my interest. Yeah, I really wanted to know the lowdown on this. I've been known to lift a few every now and then, but you need knowledge to do it safely. That's why my eyes and ears were riveted to every word this big guy was saying. Looking back, the big guy said that information about the back was very important. Knowing the discs were like soft hockey pucks that keep the back flexible. Yeah, that was it. If you bend over like a cat crawling over a worm, well, that's bad for your back. But if you bend those legs, it keeps your back in what he calls your natural curve. I can remember that because I like natural curves. Makes you feel good. Great. Wonderful. Yeah. So keep that back in its natural curve. Sure, people play golf and they bend down the wrong way to pick up their ball or their crying towel, but who plays golf at work? There was this Jane that they showed on the silver screen doing exercises. Exercise? Who needs it? But I suppose if you want a healthy back, you got to put in some sweat, some hard licks, slap a little muscle, you know what I mean? Wow, there's plenty of sweaters in this joint, but it ain't from exercise. There's a lot to safe lifting, but I got to beat feet to make sure the time clock matches the time I'm supposed to check in. A little more time, so let's see about the weenie burners. That's the wild and crazy guys who handle the hot stuff. Heat, high temp, smoke, hand burners. Now, we're not talking firefighters. We're talking about people who handle hot work. I guess these guys have to wear a lot of personal protection. Sort of like underarm deodorant when you're walking out the door for a blind date. Know what I'm saying? Personal protection in my case is a heater, a gat, a pocket rocket. Mug like me needs personal protection. But these guys wear it because it makes sense. No need to burn like a crispy critter or get that smelly, nasty, dirty smoke up your nose. No, it makes sense to wear respirators. Ever see a guy spray paint with a dust mask? What a maroon. That's like sticking a rubber hose up your nose and filling it with asphalt. A dust mask is for dust particles. Spray painters need to wear the right protection for the job. Talk about some bad stuff. What happens if you get chemicals on your body because you weren't wearing protection? Well, you're an idiot, first of all. You should have been wearing the protection to start with. That's a real brainer. A person who takes chances is a loser, a dodo. Elevator doesn't go to the top floor, few bricks shy of a load. Probably needs a shoe shine in a dark alley somewhere, you know what I mean? Well, chemicals are bad enough. So you have to handle them carefully. And you have to know what to do if you get chemicals on your skin. You need to wash the stuff off. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Get out of your clothes, hit the shower. You probably needed one anyway. Same thing for chemical splashes to the eyes. Get some water in there. Then you can call the Sawbones for professional help. Oh, I'll grant you, sometimes this safety stuff ain't real exciting. But it does prevent accidents and injuries. Makes you wonder just how many people there are that don't pay attention to all this safety stuff. Hey, this is exciting. A real rush, bingo, happening. All this stuff about safety right here in your own backyard. Hey man, gotta go. The boss is calling and I'm out of here. Can't be late for work or they'll string me up by my thumbs and cram goat juice down my throat. Uh-oh, the cops, the pigs, the vigilantes are here. Wonder what's up. Heat must be on somebody. Maybe a forklift operator ran into another rack of heavy materials. Or they busted another door. Maybe another slip and fall. Maybe they're here to investigate an accident. No telling what. Something's up and I better check it out. I knew it. The idiot Virgil again. He's smiling like he just discovered teeth. I'm looking at him and I feel my mind fingering out the bits and pieces till there was only one little piece left. This guy's a walking time bomb. Wonder how many times his name is on the police blotters and hospital emergency rooms. He may not know what's in store for him. Looks like the goons are going to haul him off to the ranks of the unemployed.
You Virgil Fair Ranch?
Yeah.
You been having accidents and injuries?
Yeah.
You're brain dead, aren't you?
Yeah.
Welcome, Danno.